Gail, you mentioned that you'd like me to sing a few of the songs that I used to like as a child. Well, it's kind of late for me to do that because my voice is old and cracked and shaky, and if I ever could sing, I can't anymore. But just to please you, 'cause you're so special, I'll try. I don't even sing in the chorus anymore with the sisters, and I don't talk to anyone very much. I'm here so much alone that my voice doesn't get very much exercise, and so it's kind of lapped back into oblivion, I guess you might say. But when I was little, I loved a few songs that we had. I remember the one about the Civil War called Two Little Boys, and it goes like this. Two little boys had two little toys. Each was a wooden horse. Gaily they played one summer day, warriors both, of course. One little chap then had a mishap, broke off his horse's head, wept for his toy, then cried for joy when his younger comrade said, "Do you think I could see you sighing when there's room on my horse for two? Climb up here, Jack, and don't be crying. He can go just as fast with two. When we're grown up, we'll both be soldiers, and our horses will not be toys. Do you think then that we'll remember when we were two little boys?" Long years had passed, and the war came at last. Gaily they marched away. Cannons roared loud amid the wild crowd. Wounded and dying Jack lay. Loud rings the cry, and a horse dashes by from out the ranks of blue. Galloped away to where Jack lay. Then a voice came strong and true. "Do you think I could see you dying when there's room on my horse for two? Climb up here, Jack, and we'll be flying to the ranks where the boys are in blue." Oh, I say, Jack, you're all a tremble. It may be the battle's noise, or it may be that you remember when we were two little boys. This is another one that I learned as a child that I used to quite like, and I guess it's called Two Little Girls, or Two Little Girls in Blue, or something. Once there lived side by side two little girls, used to dress just alike, hair down in curls, blue gingham pinafores, stockings of red, little sunbonnets tied on his pretty head. When school was over, secrets they'd tell, whispering arm in arm down by the well. One day a quarrel came, hot tears were shed. You can't play in our yard, and the other said, I don't want to play in your yard. I don't like you anymore. You'll be sorry when you see me sliding down our cellar door. You can't hollow down our rain barrel. You can't climb our apple tree. I don't want to play in your yard if you won't be good to me. Next day two little maids each other missed. Quarrel was soon made out, sealed with a kiss. Then arm in arm again, happy they go, friends all through life to be. They love each other so. Soon school days pass away, sorrow and bliss, but love remembers still, quarrel and kiss. In those sweet childhood days, they hear the cry, you can't play in our yard, and the old reply, I don't want to play in your yard. I don't like you anymore. You'll be sorry when you see me sliding down our cellar door. You can't holler down our rain barrel. You can't climb our apple tree. I don't want to play in your yard if you won't be good to me. The first songs I ever remember as a little Sunday school child was Jesus Once Was a Little Child and Jesus Wants Me for a Sunbeam. I think you know both of those. And then Little Purple Pansy. Little Purple Pansy goes like this, at least one verse of it. Little purple pansy touched with yellow gold, growing in one corner of the garden row. We are very tiny, but must try, just one spot to gladden you and I. As I grew older and could read this primary songbook, I used to love to get the songbook and sing for hours just by myself. I used to sing for Joy and Call to Serve, and a lot of those songs that I especially liked in the primary songbook. They all had a good beat and a good rhythm, and I liked them. And when I was little, I used to have the lead or one of the leading parts in most of the little plays and operettas and cantatas and things that the primary put on. They used to do things more like that, and some of them was sort of more fantasy in them. They've done away with all of that in our church productions now. But they used to sing about fairies and elves and little woodland people and that, and it had quite an appeal for me as a child, and I liked it. And some of the poetry did too. And then as I grew older, I liked to sing in chorus down in Kanab, and that I enjoyed the songs they sang, and they were all fun songs to sing, you know, and the operas that they were in, I had some of the, not the very leading roles, but pretty good parts in some of those and in the choruses. And then as we came into young ladies and men, we used to like to sing love songs. We'd sit for hours and sing all the popular love songs. When we'd ride in cars, that's all we'd do was sing the love songs that were popular of the day. And I knew the words to all of those, and we used to sing them in parts. And in fact, I used to sing quite a bit until I married Herman. Then he outsang me so much that my singing just dropped back and kind of was a thing of the past. I used to sing with my sisters, too, quite a bit. We used to sing trios and duets and things in the programs and things that went on. Of course, they's kind of hard up for anybody, or they wouldn't have chosen us. But as a child, Daddy used to sing to us a lot. He played his guitar. He used to play his harmonica a lot to us in the evenings, and sometimes the guitar, and sing to us. But the songs that he sang, a lot of them were really sad. And I was such a tender-hearted little muffet that I'd get to crying until I'd spoil it for the whole family. And then Mother, who claimed she couldn't sing at all, would sing this one little song to make me laugh. She always said, well, I'll have to sing Zizzy Zizzy Zum to make Zora Bell laugh. And so I'll sing it to you. Oh, a happy little chappy at the club one day had nothing at all to do. So he wrote a little ditty in a ragtime way, and he sang a verse or two. Then the other little chappies, when they heard that song, they said, that's a peach by gum. And they all joined in and sang like sin, Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum. Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum. Oh, the neatest little, sweetest little maiden there, with the little woolly dog on a chain, came a-tripping and a-skipping on her homeward way, and she caught the rag refrain. Then she sang it to the spider in the belfry tower, and he to the belfry clomb. And the chime they chome, and the glimmering gloam, was Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum. Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum. Oh, that happy little chappy had a dreadful jolt when he thought of his awful crime. And he took his little ditty and he tried to bolt, but they caught him just in time. Now he's tending and repenting on a red-hot stove, where the little red devils come, and they don't do a thing but make him sing, Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum. Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum. Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum. Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum, Zizzy Zizzy Zum Zum, etc., etc., etc. Gail, this is about enough silliness. I'd like to sing you maybe just one of my favorite hymns. There are a lot of favorites. I can't say that I've got a favorite, but one that's always been dear to my heart. The words have meant so much to me, and I always love it. There's lots of beautiful ones, maybe hymns with more beautiful melodies, maybe more beautiful accompaniment and things. But this one's always been one of my very favorite. Of course, there's I Know That My Redeemer Lives, and I Need Thee Every Hour, and some of these that are real special, and Come, Come Ye Saints, and Oh My Father, and some of those that are dear to all the hearts of we saints. But this one has always been one of my very favorites, and so I'll sing this one to you. It's called My Prayer. More holiness give me, more strivings within, more patience in suffering, more sorrow for sin, more faith in my Savior, more sense of his care, more joy in his service, more purpose in prayer, more gratitude give me, more trust in the Lord, more pride in his glory, more hope in his word, more tears for his sorrows, more pain at his grief, more meekness in trials, more praise for relief, more purity give me, more strength to o'ercome, more freedom from earth's stains, more longings for home, more fit for the kingdom, more used would I be, more blessed and holy, more Savior like thee. Gail, I was given 3 empty tapes as part of my Christmas from Olene's family, and I don't think they're as good a quality as the one you sent down for us to work with, but I think maybe Daddy could fill that other one, and it'd be choicer than anything I could do. I've got sinus real bad, and since I got hit in the neck, my voice has been quite bad. I've had to wait till about now to feel like it was kind of back to par a little bit, and I can see it cracks when I go in certain tones. So I'm not very proud of this, but it won't spoil Daddy's. If he makes his on the other, and I'll tell him he can have the other one. This might not sound too good on your tape. I don't know. If it doesn't, and sometime later I get a better tape, I might remake a tape for you if this one doesn't work out very well. But right now maybe I'll say a few of the poems that I learned as a child that I quite liked. Mother used to tell one that fascinated us as children. Several she told, and I liked her poems. I guess I'm getting really, really old because I like the things that she did for us as children now. This is one she told us, and it's, do you want to know why flowers grow? Do you want to know why flowers grow, and then what makes them die, and how they came, and who's to blame, and what's the reason why? Well, our Billy told me that they're as old as when the world began, and I suppose that Billy knows, 'cause he's our hired man. At night, he says, when I'm in bed, the fairies come to play, where people's got a garden lot, and everyone's away. They dance about all in and out, and smell the sweet perfume, the buds that blush and those that flush, they kiss until they bloom. And when the fun is well begun and everything is gay, a little elf that keeps himself hid somewhere when it's day comes a-spooking round without a sound, and he scares the fairies away. And then he goes to every rose and flower in the lot, and he can tell by how they smell which ones are ripe or not. Oh, woe to those the bad elf knows are not to be passed by. He breaks their stems and scatters them to make the fairies cry, and gets away before it's day, and leaves them there to die. I believe the name of that was, do you want to know why flowers grow and then what makes them die? And that makes it have a little more sense. This was another one that she told us. Baby had a dream this morning in his little tuck-a-bye, with his downy little blanket pulled up to his eye, and his pink thumb for his dinner, and his cunning little toes, they were cuddled up like a rose leaf around the baby rolls. Shall I tell you what his dream was? Oh, do you wonder how I know? Why, a tattling little sparrow came and told me so. Baby dreamed that he was in heaven, away up in the sky, but he wasn't the least bit frightened of being up so high. Baby dreamed that the angels held him while he plucked the stars. They were only daisy blossoms fringed with golden bars. Baby dreamed the clouds were nothing but big feather beds, on which the little angels tumbled down and stood upon their heads. Wasn't he a funny rascal? Naughty, naughty little elf, just laying there and fixing things just to suit himself. She also taught us this one, and then when I got in school, I didn't have to memorize it like the rest of the kids because we already knew it. Somebody's mother. The woman was old and ragged and gray, and bent with the chill of that winter's day. The streets were wet with the recent snow, and the woman's feet were aged and slow. She stood at the crossing and waited long, alone, uncared for, amid the throng of human beings who passed her by, nor heeded the glance of her anxious eye. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad at the freedom the school had let out, came the boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. Past the woman so old and gray hastened the children on their way, nor offered a helping hand to her, so meek and timid, afraid to stir lest the carriage wheels or the horses' feet should crowd her down on that slippery street. At last came one of the merry group, the gayest laddie of all the troop, and he paused beside her, and he whispered low, "I'll take you across if you wish to go." And so her feeble hand on his strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm he guided her trembling feet along, proud that his own were firm and strong. And then back again to his friends he went. His young heart was happy and well content. She's somebody's mother, boys, you know, for all that she's aged and feeble and slow. And I hope some fellow will lend a hand to help my mother, you understand, if ever she's old and feeble and gray, and her own dear son is far away. Somebody's mother bowed their head in their home that night, and the prayer that they said was, "God, be kind to that noble boy. He is somebody's son, and pride and joy." Now here's one or two of my shorter poems that I think will probably fit on here. Katie's Answer. Katie's a rogue, it is true, and her eyes, like the skies, are so blue, and her dimples so sweet, and her ankles so neat. She dazed, and she bothered me too, until one morning we went for a ride, when demure as a bride by me side, the darling she sat, neath the wickedest hat, neath a pretty girl's chin ever tied. And my heart, then how it beat, for my Kate looked so tempting and sweet, with her cheeks like the roses, and all the red posies that grows in her garden so neat. And I said, but I sat there as mute as the dead, until she said, with a toss of her head, if I'd knowed that today you'd have nothing to say, I'd have gone with me cousin instead. Then I felt myself grow very bold, for I know she won't scold if I told her the love in me heart that would never depart, though he lived to be wrinkled and old. And I said, if I dared to do so, I would leave go of this baste, and throw both me arms round your waist, and be stealing a taste of those lips that are coaxing me so. Then she blushed a more elegant red, as she said without raising her head, and her eyes looking down neath her lashes so brown, would you like me to drive, Mr. Ted? Little brown baby. Little brown baby with sparkling eyes, come here to your pappy and sit on his knee. What you been doing, sir? Making some pies? Well, look at that bib, you dirty as me. Look at that mouth. That's molasses, I bet. Come here, Mariah, and wipe off his hands. Bees gwine to catch you and eat you up yet, being so sticky and sweet. Goodness lands. Little brown baby with sparkling eyes, who's Pappy's playmate and who's Pappy's child? Who is it that all the day never once tries for to be cross, or once loses that smile? Where'd you get them teeth? My, you's a scamp. Where did that dimple come from in your chin? Pappy don't know you. Why, I believe you's a tramp. Mammy, here's some old stragglers got in. Let's throw him out of the door into the sand. We don't want stragglers hanging around here. Let's give him away to the big booger man. I know he's a-hiding around here, right near. Boogerman, Boogerman, come in through the door. Here's a bad boy you can have for to eat. Pappy and Mammy don't want him no more. Swaller him down from his head to his feet. There now, I thought that'd make you hug me up close. Go away, old boogerman. You can't have this boy. Why, he ain't no tramp, no straggler. No, course. He's Pappy's playmate and partner and joy. Come to your pallet now and go to your rest. I wish you could always know ease and clear skies. I wished you could stay just a child on me breast. Little brown baby with sparkling eyes. This is another that Mother used to say. The Hobley Gobley got great big eyes, and he sees in the dark like a cat. He creeps up the wall, then he creeps down again, quicker than scat. Do he eat little children? Oh, no, honey dear. Whatever put that in your head? Why, he eats up the skeeters and flies and such creeters, while you're fast asleep in your bed. The hole in the curtain. Someone's torn the curtain, and I think it must be me. I climbed up to the window, and the curtain caught my knee, and then it wrapped my foot all up, and I heard a hole, you see. Auntie's sure to notice 'cause as bigly as can be. I hear her coming up the stair to have her evening tea. I wish I was the Bigly Hole, and the Bigly Hole was me. Well, it looks like this is wound right down almost to the end, so I'll just turn it over and start on the longer reading or two for you.